prompts from somebody else, but it's not just prompts, it's a readathon. So in this month we are going to be following Stephloves readathon, which is called the Final Book Support Group. I'm really excited to do this. So it runs for 1 week from the 11th to the 17th of May, but I'm going to do it for the full month just because I'm mainly working that week. A lot of the days, there's a couple of days that I'm off, so I was thinking I might do like a bit of a reading vlog. I haven't done one of those before, but I thought it might be quite fun to do because some of the prompts are like self-care or join a sprint, so I thought it'd be quite fun to like film that and then upload it after that week. But I'm going to use the prompts for my reading for the full month, I think. I hope that's not cheating. But the thing I like about Stephloves readathon of the Final Book Support Group makes you read the books that you've been forgetting about if you're in the middle of a series, to keep reading and going. And I really like the prompts for this one. It's really made me think about what I want to read and trying to be a bit more intentional with what I'm reading. As you know, I don't want to keep starting new series all the time. I want to finish some before I pick up any new ones. So I'm hoping that with the help of this TBR, like this month, I'll be able to get through a few more of my backlogged books. But yeah, I'll put up the bingo board so you can see the prompts that we're working with. And yeah, I'm hoping, like I said, I'm not going to try and just do bingo or anything like that. I'm just going to try and read as much as I can. A couple of the prompts I've doubled up on, which she did say was allowed. So yeah, we'll dive into it and see where we go from here. But yeah, I've got the prompts on my phone. So the first one I've got is Out of Sight. So Steph on a video described it as like a kind of book that you forget about all the time, whether it's on a Kindle or it's an audio book or maybe a library book, like something that you're in the middle of. And I've gone for Lost in the Moment and Found by Sean Maguire. So this series is, I think this is book 8 in this series. There is 10 books out, I think, so far. I don't know if that's the end. I'm not sure. I've not been keeping up to date, and what's really annoying is when they first started coming out, I was really up to date with everything. But yeah, now I've lost it. I'm out of the loop. But this follows a boarding school, like kids that get sent to this boarding school because they've gone to like other worlds basically, but then they get brought back to the real world and they kind of can't cope with the fact that they're not in this like magical mystery realm. But not every realm is good, if that makes sense. It's not like all sunshine and rainbows. There's some really dark worlds out there that these kids face and go through, but it's kind of like they're having to go back and readjust to life in society as it is now. But yeah, in this one we followed Jessie, I think. Oh no, that's the other. So in this one, it says, "Welcome to the shop where lost things go. If you ever lost a sock, you'll find it here. If you ever wondered about a favourite toy from childhood, it's probably sitting on a shelf in the back. And the headphones that you swore this time you'd keep safe, you guessed it. Antoinette has lost her father. Metaphorically, he's not in the shop, and she'll never see him again. But when Ansty finds herself lost, literally this time, she discovers that however many doors open for her, leaving the shop for good might not be as simple as it sounds, and stepping through those doors exacts a price. Lost in the moment and found tells us that childhood innocence once lost can never be found." What I love about these books as well is like you'll have one book in like a realm, and then the next book it's back at the children's home and you meet some of the characters, and then you also get to go to maybe their worlds as well. So a character that you meet in the book, in like book 2, you might not see their world for like another few books, but you will probably see it at some point. But yeah, I really like it. I like all the relationships between the kids and stuff, and they're not very long. I think that audiobook is like an hour, 4 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours nearly. But yeah, they fly by. because that's obviously book 8, so I'm hoping to get to like book 10, because it'll only take me like a day or two to read all them, so, and then hopefully that's like one series like fully boxed off. But yeah, I really like them. The narrators are always really good in them as well. But then next we have Continuation Station, and I love that name. But yeah, this is normally a big prompt in this kind of readathon. So for this one, I've chosen Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. So if you've seen my April TBR, you know that I read Skyward. I was going to read Skyward in the month of April. Spoiler alert for my wrap up, but I have read that now. And I just thought, let's keep going on this tangent, because I really did enjoy Skyward. I obviously have read them before, but I forgot how much I loved it. It took me a little while to get back into it, but I think it's because I wanted to play like The Sims basically rather than read. So it's taken me a few extra days to read it than I wanted to, but I'm really excited to read this and just pick up where we left off. So Skyward follows Spencer, who really wants to be a pilot, and their world is under attack by the Krell, who are these like aliens. But Spencer's dad is basically known as a coward because in a big battle he ran away basically, and nobody trusts her. Nobody wants her to be a pilot, so she's having to fight for her right to be a pilot in this world, and it's really good. Brandon Sanderson basically can do no wrong. I've heard his Mistborn trilogy is incredible, and obviously is it the Cosmere, I think it is. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. He's such a good writer, and he's made me want to read more of his work, not just obviously Skyward, but I'm thinking of finish this series before I start maybe the Cosmere, because the Cosmere is so big and vast. So yeah, I think I'm going to read this. But yeah, I'm just excited to carry on with this series. Like I said, I don't want to say what else happens in Skyward because I want to give you spoilers, but it's really good. Would really recommend it. And then the next prompt is spin a wheel, put prompts on a wheel or books on a wheel. So I haven't done this one just yet because I don't know what prompts I feel like doing. I think that's going to be one that if I do a reading vlog, I might leave it as a surprise. That could be maybe the premise of the video with Wheel picks my books for readathon or something. I don't know, but yeah, I've not done that one just yet because I didn't know what I felt like reading or picking or what prompt I wanted to do. So then the next one is Treat Yourself. And when Steph described it, it was treat yourself to a bath or a cake, a little sweet treat or a book, maybe some books. So again, I can't do that one just yet, but again, that might be a good part to put in the vlog of we could maybe go to a local supermarket that does really good books, or we could go to the Works or something, and yeah, just see what we feel like doing. But yeah, maybe a couple of these could be part of the overall reading vlog maybe. So Spring Vibes is the next one that I've got a book for. So for this one, again, she described it as light colours or flowers on the cover, that kind of thing. But I've actually gone for Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. So I just love these colours, the greens and the orange really reminded me of spring. And again, this is the second book in the Lunar Chronicles series. So these covers are stunning. So they have a redesign of the cover, and I love them. So they're retellings of fairy tales. So the first one is Cinderella, and we follow Cinder, who is a cyborg. Or is she half cyborg? I can't remember, one of the two. And yeah, it kind of goes from there. And like I said, it's basically a retelling of Cinderella. I think this one is Little Red Riding Hood. And yeah, the covers on the back are just so cute. But yeah, these books have been around for ages, and I've just never finished them. I have read Luna and Scarlet years ago, but I genuinely can't remember what happened in them, so I reread Cinder and really, really enjoyed it. Like, it surprised me how much I enjoyed it. And then I've read this one, but again, I can't remember what happens in it. So it's like reading a new book, really. But yeah, I just can't wait. I'm so excited. Oh yeah, there's like a prince in it and the Lunar Queen, and I think the Lunar Queen is kind of like, she sort of takes the role of like one of the ugly stepsisters trying to marry the prince sort of thing. But yeah, it's really good and I really recommend it. And then yeah, there's like, is it like, I can't remember what they're called, these kind of books, but the artwork in it is really good. So yeah, I'm going to read this one next. And yeah, I chose this for the spring one just because of the colours on the cover. And again, we're just trying to get through backlogs of series here in this month, and yeah. But yeah, I love Stephloves. Content is so good. I've watched her for ages. And then the next one I don't have a copy of, so again we could maybe incorporate going to buy this as part of the vlog. But Rats of the Starling by Daphne Perry. So I read Shield of Sparrows in April and I really loved it. It was so good. So good. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did, but it was incredible. The twists and turns in it. I actually can't believe I didn't think I'd enjoy it because I love Daphne Perry's like the Eden series, which I know is different, but I really like that as well. And yeah, so we follow Odessa, who is the firstborn princess, but she's kind of somewhat overlooked. Like, everyone assumes that her younger sister May is the one that's gonna become the queen, essentially. Like, she is the one that's gonna be married off. But then the day off, Prince Xavier comes and visits, and then he chooses Odessa to marry. Like, he doesn't want to marry May, and it kind of devolves from there. And Odessa then has to move to this other continent and kind of become like a spy for her dad, who was overlooked. Like, May has lived her entire life for this mission, and Odessa is just thrown into the deep end. But it's so good. It's like enemies to lovers. Oh my god, it's incredible. I loved it. I can't wait. So this is like so high on my list of books to read this year. And again, I'm trying to, one of my goals this year is to keep up to date with as many series as I can. So why not read that this month? So yeah, that is the next one that I'm going to read. Well, not read, but you know what I mean, the next one I'm going to get. And then for graphic novel or manga, obviously I put a couple of manga novels on my TBR last month. I haven't quite got to them yet because it's what date is it today? It's the 22nd of April, so I still got some time. But I put the 7th volume of Saga on here. I love it. I think it's so good. I've not kept up to date as much as I should have done, and it's been a while since I read this one. But yeah, it follows two people who are like from different planets, and they basically fall in love and have a child. And they're being followed, hunted by the various planets and colonies that think they shouldn't be together, and it's really good. It's really good. But yeah, I'm not up to date at all with this, so it'll be good to add this to the list. And in a month where a lot of the books that I want to read are quite big books, it'll be quite an easy read, a bit of a palate cleanser. But yeah, this is like not a good graphic novel either for children, so please don't give it to children. It's so raunchy at times, it's so funny. But yeah, so I've got that. And then for TBR Vet, to be fair, I think quite a few of these could fit for TBR Vet. But I have chosen a book that has been on my TBR for a long while. I think Steph said like anything kind of like over a year, really. But yeah, I've got Break Up From Hell by Anne Delvia Cardinal. I've probably butchered that. But yeah, mainly a cover buy, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I just want to get this kind of like off my shelves, I suppose, and read, and whether I like it or not. But yeah, I just want to see if I like this one, but I'll read you the synopsis. Tired of her abuela keep same friend she's known forever. So when another boring Sunday trip turns into a run-in with Sam, a mysterious hottie in town on vacation, Mika seizes the opportunity to get closer to him. It's not long before she is under his spell and doing things she's never done before, like winning all her martial arts sparring matches and lying to her favourite people. The more time Mika spends with Sam, the more weird things start to happen too, like terrifying visions of the world ending weird. Mika's gut instinct is to tell her something is off, yet Sam is the most exciting guy she's ever met. But when Mika discovers his family roots, she realises that instead of being the typical high school relationship, she's living in a horror novel. She has to leave Sam, but will ending their relationship also bring an end to everything she knows and everyone she loves? So yeah, it just sounds really fun. It sounds interesting. The cover, like I said, was a complete buy, like a cover buy. So yeah, like I said, I like the thought of getting books off my TBR that have been on there for a long while, and sometimes that's why I like to do these readathons, to just get things off my TBR that I necessarily wouldn't gravitate towards. Because like, I must have picked it up for a reason. I must have been excited at one point, so let's get reading it, do you know what I mean? And then final book. I've still not picked one for this because I don't know what I feel like. I feel like if I'm going to choose more of the Shauna Maguire books, that could fit. So again, I might just wait till I do maybe the vlog or towards the end of the month and pick something for that. 3 books or more. Steph said this was again like 3 or more books in a series, a trilogy, a quartet, something like that. So for this I've doubled up and gone for Starside by Brandon Sanderson, because there's at least 4, maybe 5 if you count the novella as well. So I'm just kind of trying to double up on a few things because there's quite a few big books in here on this series, on this TBR, so I don't want to overwhelm myself. Because I am going to Scotland as well for the weekend, so I don't want to, I know that's only one weekend, but I don't want to feel like I'm behind on my TBR and stuff. Read something for fun. Again, I've not chosen this one because I don't know what I'm going to feel like reading. I just want to pick something that I'm in the mood for at the time, kind of like a mood read. 2026 TBR, I've chosen Rats of the Starling. Again, I've doubled up there for that one because it's on my 2026 TBR. I need to read it. I don't really set myself a TBR of like, I haven't set myself one this year of like 12 books in 12 months or anything like that, but that's one that I want to get to this year. Like, I know in my heart that I'm like, I need to keep up to date with that. And then finally works with another goal, which is Steph, kind of like I said buddy up with like 12 books in 12, or if you've got your own goals that you want to achieve this year, use it for that. So I have chosen this as like keep up to date with my TBR or my series, because that's one thing that I really struggle with, is I'll get really into a series and then I'll be like, I'm bored now, but I'm not bored, I just want something different. I don't tend to read series back to back to back, which realistically I should be doing, but yeah, I just kind of forget about it. So that's been one of my main goals this year, is to keep up to date with the series I'm in the middle of. So I think again I'm either going to do Rats of the Starlings for this one by Denny Perry, or I'm going to do Fury Bound by Sable Sorensen. It just depends where I get up to in terms of my TBR, what it's looking like for the month, how busy I am, that kind of thing. Because if I can read Fury Bound, I absolutely want to read that because I think it comes out on the 5th of May, so I want to get to that as well. Like, I'm so excited I pre-ordered that. So if I can get to that this month, I definitely will do. But if I can't, I'll just use Rats of the Starling and then read Fury Bound the following month. But yeah, so there are a few ideas. Like I said, if you have any, maybe like you could help me come up with some prompts for the wheel. If I'm going to do a vlog about it, maybe you could, like I said, you could help come up with some of the prompts for said wheel, and I'll try and read them to the best best of my ability. I'm either thinking prompts or books. But again, if you're going to give me ideas for my books, I don't know if you're going to know, because you can see some of my shelves behind me, but I also have 2 other shelves and like one further down there. So, like I said, either put suggestions for books in that or suggestions for prompts. That would be really helpful. And like I said, I can do the vlog, and it'll probably come out after the 11th to 17th, but so maybe the following like Wednesday, because I'm probably filming that week so I can join in on the sprints and things like that. But yeah, let me know any prompts, anything like that that you think would be a really good idea for said wheel, said video, anything like that. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this video.